Okay, today we're going to do a disassembly on the Sig MCX Spear. You will need a T15 Torx bit and your favorite driver and your favorite set of punches or a bullet tip or anything else you can use as such. Now the first step, of course, is to use either one of the charging handles and clear the rifle. In this case, it's clear. Okay, first step, of course, is to take down the two takedown pins located at the front and back of the lower receiver. They're kind of tight because it's a new rifle and there's an AccuEdge, so if you need to, use whatever tool to get the pins out. The pins are captive, so no need to worry about losing them. You're pretty much done with your lower receiver at this point in time, so go ahead and set it aside. Okay, from here, you're going to flip it over on its top, and you're going to push forward and lift down on the recoil spring guide, which will free it from the upper receiver, and you're just going to pull straight out. No further action is needed at this time. You're going to pull back on the charging handle, which will release the bolt carrier from the inside of the rifle, and at the same time, your charging handle will fall out. Moving on to the bolt, the operating rod is wishboned into the bolt carrier itself. Just remove it by pulling it out. Next step, you're going to lift up on the firing pin latch and push over your firing pin retaining pin, which is captive. From here, you're just going to pull back on your firing pin and it'll pull out once it gets past the latch. Your cam pin will lift straight out, and your bolt will just remove out the front of the bolt carrier. Moving on to the upper receiver, there's two bolts on both sides that will be removed by your T15 Torx bit. Just remove those and set them aside. And from here, your handguard's a little tight. So if you need to, use a punch or soft object to kind of just get her going. Doesn't take a whole lot of force. Once you get it going though, you are able to remove your handguard from the front. Go ahead and set your handguard aside. From here, your gas piston will be at the front. You're going to remove the regulator by pushing on this little button here and twisting over until you reach the flat side of the regulator and just pull straight out. For the gas piston, just push from the back and it'll be removed out the front. Clean your gas piston by removing any excess carbon on there. And this will complete your disassembly. Your major components, your lower receiver, your recoil spring, your rear charging handle, your op rod, the firing pin with spring, your cam pin, the bolt carrier itself, the bolt, the handguard, your gas regulator, your gas piston, and your upper receiver and barrel. Just to note, there's 2 screws here to remove the barrel from the upper receiver. It'll be 60 inch-pounds for the torque settings. Now to reassemble, you're going to put your gas piston in through the front, and sometimes you can't get it started by hand, so you can use a tool such as this plastic punch here just to get her fully seated inside the gas block. From there, take your gas regulator, flat side in, rotate until it clicks into its various positions. From here, take your handguard, sleeve it over the barrel and into 2 rails on either side of the upper receiver. Once your rail slides on, there's a tab at the front of the upper receiver that matches into the rail. You're just going to give it a sharp push to get it to seat. And you're going to take your T15 bolts and reinstall them in the holes on the upper receiver. Do not exceed 15 inch-pounds. It seems like any more than that, you're going to strip them out. Just something firm and snug should work. And repeat for both sides. Okay, from here for your bolt, you're going to take your bolt, reinsert it into the front of the bolt carrier. From here, you're going to rotate your cam pin till the line faces forward. And if you rotate everything upside down, of course, it'll all fall out because it's not captured. But from here, you're going to lift up the firing pin safety. You're going to reinsert your firing pin. You might need a tool or something at this point in time to lift up the firing pin latch and insert your firing pin. If it doesn't seem like it's going all the way through or it's getting stopped, it might have something to do with your firing pin retaining pin slipping in. Just pull that all the way out and it should all fit back together. There we go. And your firing pin will be semi-flush with the back of the receiver. Push it in and push your firing pin retaining pin through. One thing to note, the firing pin retaining pin might not be flush all the way when you reinsert it. That's normal. At least it was normal for me. So nothing to be worried about. Take your op rod at this point in time, find the little dog leg in it, and match the corresponding dog leg. Fit it in, and your bolt carrier is complete. From here, you're going to take your charging handle first, fit it into the upper receiver, kind of like an AR-15, until it meets the little groove, and then it gets retained. You're going to take your bolt carrier with the bolt forward, and you're going to reinsert it into the bolt carrier, being mindful, of course, of the charging handle. There is a small latch on the back side of the charging handle that your bolt will have to defeat. From there, you're going to take your super long recoil spring, put it in the back of your bolt carrier, back of the op rod, and push through. Same thing as before. there's a little lip or a latch. You're going to defeat that latch and push up until you hear it click into place. And then it should be complete. From here, you're just going to take your lower, make sure your takedown pins are fully removed. And you still have your handy dandy hammer. Hammer those takedown pins in. Of course, the rear one will be a little bit more difficult due to the AccuEdge, but there you go. From here, you just do your quick functions check. Make sure the safety works. Make sure your charging handle and the bolt and everything works the way it's supposed to. And you've completed reassembly of your MCX Spear. Good job.